Hello, today we hear from Michael Myrick, the greatest strategist to have ever lived.
Facts.
Today he discusses his master stroke to attempt to slay the great fantasy football dragon, Alex Garcia. Alex is a deep diver into fantasy using a mixture of logic, research, his intuition, negotiation skills, and sometimes his friends. This year Alex is on pace to three-peat as champion of the Southside Fantasy Football League. If not Myrick, then whom can slay this genius? Let's first review the dragon. Alex Big Baby G re-entered the league 3 years ago, swiped the trophy, and won't give it back. He's thinking three-peat like those Chicago Bulls, no, those Lakers. Above average drafts, savvy trading and sweet talk, and the occasional refee in the drink has resulted in this massive roster of depth. Alex's lowest score is 221, a high of 271, and a median of 245. The contenders. Angel has an outside shot at winning if he can get into the playoffs. Angel Diaz, an intuitive, aggressive, mathematically inclined ex-football player, is no one to take lightly. Sadly, though, this year he is not a force. Wait. No. Recently he showed brilliance posting a 260 score. He also recently acquired CMC, Christian McCaffrey, which should boost him anywhere between 10 and 30 points a game. My panties are wet. Sadly, like a 50-year-old heroin addict, he's rock hard one night and Mr. Tic-Tac Dick the next. Look at the scoring record. Each time he has scored over 200 points he follows it with a sub-180 performance 3 occasions. For this presentation, Angel has never scored above Alex's median and only has 27% chance to score over Alex's min score and in never scoring above the Alex 245 median. Rohini, the prevalent tigress. Hated on social media since early 2010s. Didn't like how Americans put their business for the world to see, makes nobody cares if you gonna tell everybody, she says. No football experience, but love Indian cricket and World Cup. Lost a bet when Lewandowski scored a Euro Champs goal for Borussia Dortmund. Not a football fan but not ignorant of sports. The Death Flute squad has a puncher's chance but that's about it. She has scored above Alex's median one time. This equates to about 9% chance of beating Alex if she were to face him. The Red Devils, led by Danny Garcia, brother of Alex, has a strong squad and usually always fields a strong squad. The Devils have a very tight, sort of, scoring record of having a base of 200, sort of, and a top of 250. Danny's chance of scoring above Alex's 211 minimum should be easy, but again, only one score above the Alex 245. 9% chance. This Lions fan, Tyler, aka Patricia's Getting Axed, aka the Dreadlock Warrior, aka the Rainbow Vacation, fields another strong squad who consistently scores above 200, but not yet scoring above the 245 median mark. Tyler has burst on the scene this year with high trading activity. First 6 games Patty's averaged 202 and the last 5 games averaged 219 depending how you run the numbers. At this pace, Patricia will be well above the 221 point to make sure Alex better not have a bad day and can have the potential to burst a little. Team Driss, probably. Most likely would have handed Alex his first loss, but Driss lost hard and fire sold his team. Others have grown quite fat off his generosity, but has collected a lot of picks and should be both strong and deep next season.
Should have showed you guys
Angel,
those keepers.
This is why. Vito the Don, Vito the iPod, Vito lover of 2 girls 1 cup and apparently has his himself and 1 jar as well. On his squad rests 2 nuclear bombs. If they both explode, adios. Good night, bish, nobody can save you. Murray and Mahomes. Acquiring a ton of young talent in the middle of the season and the recipient of early draft picks, Vito might be the odds-on favorite next season to take the trophy. Before his trade, he topped out at 209. After acquiring Mahomes and young talent, Vito has topped at 246.55. Notices the magic median. So, here goes a magic 9% number. And watch out, Kansas City has 2 favorable matchups in the playoffs. Eric, leader of Wakanda. Nuts on the table and an absolute shrewd person when trying to trade. Pretty much. He says no. He don't even like when people are sucky. He'll get people kicked out. Fire. In short, Wakanda has some burst potential to get to the 230 seconds, but his team falls to the 140 mark at times, so at the moment, not a serious challenger. Lamar Jackson is having a down year, so maybe when Lamar resurrects himself, Wakanda shall rise again. And now, the grand strategist. He who told you stop feeding the dragon. The man helping you all out with the waiver wire. The preacher of patience. Veritatem cognoscere, aka to know the truth. A quick batch of stats. His first 3 matches were all over 245 equals 27%. Then his team slumped to a 220 average, so not quite enough to get above a low. But week 7 was the turning point in this tale, because it was the regular season match against Alex. Myrick lost 236 to, you guessed it, 245. To keep the story short, when asked what happened next, Myrick said, I noticed that my best player led me down with 14 points against a very bad team, and that if he had scored just his projection I would have won. So, I thought maybe I could solidify my squad with a second QB, but nobody was selling for a price I liked. So I was hit with an idea. What if I go 0 QBs? I think at the time Mahomes was averaging 32 points, so I started to try and sell him to anybody that would improve my whole non-QB squad by 32 plus 10% points, roughly 35 points. The idea being I would like the deal to go through and I would like to improve my squad by the 3-ish points and, more importantly, if I can get a trash QB off the waivers I would be extremely lucky, but would basically be free points. To me it was a baseline improvement of 3 points and a very high upside. I'm just thinking, okay, if I can get that 236 to 239, then get a trash QB that can give me 10 points easy, that'll push me to 249. I'll be happy with that. So then what happened? Myrick says, when I offered Vito his trade he was slightly ahead in the trade, so I said, fuck it, let me see if he'll give up Drew Lock. I got lucky, he threw him in. He didn't need him anyway, he has the hottest weapons in the league now. Looking okay, Myrick's next game was a 235. Then 187, then 188, then 245. What was going on at this moment? Myrick continued. Well, this is part of the grand strategy that I didn't tell anybody. I was just trying to find someone I could trust to keep quiet and would come off a QB. Around October 27th, I reached out to the new Browns, aka Trash Pit, or Joe on the Discord. We arranged for me to trade him my first and some conditional picks, DK and Terry McFortine, Hill and Jones. I was ecstatic. I was so deep in wide receiver that I didn't mind giving up the weapons. The next part was hardest, because I was trying to lose games to get on Alex's side of the bracket. I think he is weak that first week he plays, or the second round of the playoffs. I remembered what Angel said one time, though, when he said about a strategy I was using on FIFA with always making sure I finish first place. My strat, just sim until I am not in first and then play the games to get in first place. Angel said I should just sim until I mathematically have to play and I would have to do less work. I saw the wisdom in this, so applied it to this. I would wait a bit. In the interim, Tyler started making some really smashing trades, like fucking great trades. He is strong, people don't know. So I'm hoping he stays over on that side and takes Alex the 16th week. Thanks, Tyler. So the next part and final piece, I was so paranoid and respectful of Alex that I wanted to trade 10 minutes before the trade deadline to make sure he didn't have time to counter my trade in case he thought I was becoming a problem. But he let Angel get Christian. So maybe he didn't care. Based of the number so far, Myrick's squad should, without any new data, have a 36% chance to get to, or over, the 245 mark. End of analysis equals Myrick has a 36% chance to beat Alex. The rest of the contenders' best was 9%. So given that Alex gets the bye week and he somehow plays Myrick and won the Niners, his probability of winning the chip at this moment is 64%. 91% equals 58.24%. Good luck.
That's a 58.